Respect. Okay. Welcome, everyone, new students and old students. I see some familiar faces here, and also a lot of new students. Glad you all came. Quite many people right now. And the first question I want to ask you is, what language should we use here? So we make it. Like, I would first want to know, like, who understands English? Please just raise the hand. So it's everyone. Nearly. Do you understand English? If I talk English in this, like, if it's too quick, you know it. Okay, good. So, because otherwise I could Chinese, yes, we use Chinese, but we do it in English. Because the preparation was also done in English. So I first want to thank the Foreign International Department here to invite me and to give me the opportunity to hold a speech and to be here to talk about students' life. Maybe I can give some information for some people, how things can be done, how things can be solved, how things can be easier if we have each other's cultural understanding, because I think there are a lot of things going on if you move to China, if you come to Hangzhou and you come from different places. I see, like, there is Malaysia, there is Germany, there is Thailand, there is South America, Mongolia, Korea. We have other students from Japan, we have more from Indonesia. China, we have a guest. You're from China?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome.
Here.
Great, welcome. Good. Yeah, there are actually more foreign students, but some, yeah. I think everyone is pretty busy. Okay. So, the topic, what we have today, is called Shuben, Luntan. So the first step was, like, I was trying to translate the Shuben. So if you go with Google Translator, no way. Baidu, no way. So Shuben is something what I want to translate, like, it's something like seeking the roots. So I'm here today to talk about, to search about our roots actually. It's not only to seek about my roots. Because we all have different expectations and dreams. And that's the title for today, about our university, about the Zhejiang Chinese Medical University, and about our dreams, about your dreams. I will tell you also about my dream, if you have dreams. Like, any questions, I would say we do it at the end, but if you can't wait, then just ask whenever you want. Please. Who's the girl over there? This girl. This girl was in the classroom with me for 5 years, and she's sitting here in the first line. Her name is Yan Li. She's from Malaysia. Yan Li, really nice girl and always helpful. Like, she helped me with all preparations for tests. She helped me with things I didn't know. So if you have any questions, I'm sure she will help you further. She's right now doing the master degree, and this picture was taken when she was looking for a new master to begin her master study. No, I'm just joking. This was the bachelor graduation. It was 2011. So we took some pictures, and I found it quite good for my presentation, so I showed you. Yeah, so as you already see, like, all the pictures I've done on my own during actually having 8 years experience here in China. We will see more about that. So, if we talk about our university, if we talk about our dreams, our university, like, for me it's like very interesting to see right now, like, the West meets the East. It's not only the West meets the East, because we have a lot of students here which actually come from the East and they meet the East. So they might have similar culture, but even though they have maybe also differences. So please excuse if I use the name West, because it's very hard to put to use a name and to so this is nothing offended for people who are not coming from the West. So I think we have different background, no matter where we come from. So this is a question, who are we and where do we come from? So everybody has different kind of background to the country, like where you grow up. And this is something what you bring actually here. And that makes you a person, that gives you your personality, including your culture, including your tradition. And out of this, we all have ideas. Why did we came here? I guess there is no one who's just here who has no clear idea why to come here. So is it about a dream, or is it about a try to find a new way of life, or actually to find something outside of your country, what you would like to put in your reality? So what is it actually about? This is a nice picture. We remember, like, we had a nice evening dinner. So we have a lot of friends in there. Actually, we have a lot of people who are studying here. Pointing out some people who didn't came. This is Ahmed from Tunisia. We have Mike here. He's from the United States. He did the masters. He was just leaving. We have a guy from Switzerland. And a guy sitting here, which is Sebastian. At the end, he's also doing the master degree here, studying an English language. And this is me. This is my girlfriend here. And we have another Chinese pharmacist over here. So we're all coming from different places. I think that's quite sure. We don't have to talk a lot about this. So are you aware, where are we right now? Are you aware, like, if you zoom up with Google Earth, like, it's Hangzhou, it's Zhejiang, it's China. So it's totally different place. And what do you bring with you? Did you thought about where did you come from, and what actually do you have? Do you have expectations? What would you like to have here? Do you have any kind of wishes? Any kind of hopes? I guess for sure everyone has it, because you put a lot of effort in the inside to move, to leave your own country, to leave your own culture back. So that's not only happy feelings. Some people might be frightened, you know, how it would go on here, the life. Will I find friends? Because everything is unknown. Will I be lonely maybe? Will I find people? This is me when I was 18. Like, this is a very good friend from Germany. I just chose this picture. And this is what I already actually mentioned. So I hope everyone finds its national flag in the inside. If not, no, I guess I forgot one of you, Sebastian. It's not in the inside. Okay. I think this is what is really interesting. Like, we are all together right now here and like joining classes. Some are doing it in Chinese, some are doing it in English, and we are still very different. We are all called Liu Xuesheng, but Liu Xuesheng, or foreigner, or like Chinese people, they say Lao Wai. Lao Wai is the meaning of like a foreigner. So actually foreigner or Lao Wai, like for me, like it's a little bit hard to use that word, because, as I already said, like, we have foreigners from the West, we have a lot of from the East, but we are also different because of our background, our culture, our language, and that gives you actually your way of thinking, which will later we will come to different parts, and you will see that one day, like, we are all faced with Chinese culture and Chinese understanding. And then we have to put a little bit laid back our own way of thinking and to start to understand a new culture. First, maybe to observe it. So this is where we are. We are studying in a clinic, some of you. Some are learning massage. These are some students from Israel. They've been here like 3 years ago. And this is a very nice teacher. His name is Lian. So for people who are interested in Toina massage, and also would like to have a teacher in who can speak English, we can very much recommend Dr. Lian. Very nice man. Also for treating, if you have a back pain or some stiff neck, he's working in the Wuchen Yitang. That's one of the pharmacies you find in the Hefang Street, which is also called the History Street, which is in the east of the West Lake. So, we are in this country now, we are in China, and we came because we wanted to study. Not only we wanted, we are here, we want. We want to study the national medicine, the Zhongyi, the Chinese medicine. So, how do you feel about it? It's not something you have to, I mean, you can answer, sure, if there are any kind of comments, you can just throw it over here, or you can just go over by thinking. And I'm talking about those things, like, just think about, like, what are your expectations, what are your hopes? And this is what we find here. Chinese culture and tradition. As I already said, like, some people will be in hospital. This is the acupuncture department of the Zhejiang Yuan of the provincial hospital. We have, like, students here. We have Sean from Korea, Yan Li, who else? Sebastian. Yeah, they all have been to this hospital. So it's very interesting to see. And I very much can recommend actually for everyone to study a little bit of Chinese, because patients will always talk in Chinese. They won't use English. So no matter actually what kind of program we have, for the people who chose an English program, I still would say try to grab a little bit of the basic of the Chinese. It will help you, not only for the studies, but also for the understanding of the people here. Again, a picture of acupuncture. Well, I don't have to say too much about those pictures. This was taken in the Chinese pharmacy. Actually, a very good place to go to study if we have, like, people who are interested in herbal medicine. This is how I began. In 2005, I came to Hangzhou and I started with my Chinese language course for 1 year, and I didn't have any kind of Chinese. I know Ni Hao, I know Ni Hao Ma, and I knew a third sentence which was called Na Shi Ta De Shu Ma. So this is the meaning, like, is this his book? But with this kind of sentence you don't really get far. So I had to really push myself. So I was often going to pharmacies, and I was asking all of these doctors, like, what is that herb called? What is the name and what is the function? So a very good way to learn herbal names, functions, how to use it. Very good. Recommend pharmacies. Like, where do you find those pharmacies? In the Vukan Street. I was just talking about it. The History Street in English. It's in the east of the West Lake, close to the Vukan mountain. This picture was taken on one of my trips in Yangzhou, which is very close to Guilin, in the Guangxi province. So Chinese culture, what parts are about it? Like, the main thing is why we are mostly here. This is what I guess, like, everyone is in studying of traditional Chinese medicine. We might have people who only do Chinese language, this I don't know right now. A very big part, as well as tea culture, Shaolin Kung Fu. This is a guy, like, he was taking, like, I was taking this picture in 2004 next to Shaolin. I was in the school and I was studying over there, like, for 7 hours every day. I could manage for 3 weeks after I became so sick, and I told myself, like, right now I know what is Shaolin Kung Fu, but I'm not doing it, because those people, they wake up at 5 and they study until the evening. There are just breaks for dinner and for lunch, so it's very tough. I also met my best martial arts teacher over there. She was a girl. She was 9 years old, so she could just kick her foot to the front head. She was a part of a group which is touring around Europe and maybe also other countries. So these are, like, really great students. They are called the Shaolin monks when they're on the tour. They're not monks, they're just best students. So I was interested in a lot of things, in Shaolin Kung Fu, so I went to those schools. I've been studying there, to Tai Chi, to Qigong. If anyone is interested, like, we are also in contact with a teacher who is in Fujian. He's not only a Chinese martial arts master, he's also teaching herbal medicine, and he's bringing people to the mountain. So people can actually, they pick the herbs over there, they bring it back and they make their own gao yao, like patches if you have some muscle injuries. This was taken in Yunnan. Actually my first year of bachelor I was doing in Kunming. So I was having 1 year of the Chinese language here, and then I was very interested in the minority medicine. So I went to Kunming to have my first year over there. That's the Yunnan Zhuyi Xueyuan. Also very interesting if you would like to put your focus on Chinese herbal medicine, because they have dozens over there. They have huge markets, which is like the Carrefour here, full of herbs, and you will lose your way in the inside. So I was thinking, like, what is most important to face a new culture? If we already thought about now our own expectations, our own hopes. So what is most important to bring with us? And I think it's respect. If we have respect for each other, I think we can walk a lot of ways and we will always find help, we will always find support. This is a student, she comes from America, she was studying here last year, she was doing acupuncture courses. And I often, like, when I'm walking outside, like, it's interesting how open Chinese people are behaving, and they are showing their interest to foreign people. And like right now you see they just took a picture. Actually those 4 people they never met before. These are not good friends. Maybe the picture shows it like this, but they just met on the West Lake just to have a nice picture. It would be impossible to have that in Germany, in my country, because people will think like, crazy? Like, what do you want from me? So this is something like, this is great. This is like open-minded, and if you have an interest, like, show it directly. So I think respect is a very important thing for both of our sides, for us foreigners and for Chinese. Did you saw the movie Lost in Translation? Well, it was done in Japan right now. So I just used that word, and maybe some of you also felt like this arriving here, or even sometimes it gets you even after a year. You just feel lost. You just feel like, oh, I just need help right now. I don't know what to do. I face a lot of difficulties. Maybe I cannot stand the food. I don't like it, or I have a lot of problems because food is very oily. So what can we do, for example? Cook for yourself. Easiest thing. I was starting to cook for myself quite early. I'm not doing it every day because I don't have the time. But I realized I feel better because I also had problems with a lot of oily food. So these are actually just some impressions of what could happen if you have a culture shock. Sometimes a culture shock actually happens when you go home, when you're not in China, but when you go home to your country, you realize, oh, everything is so different. But it's not. It's you. You are different because you change. So people might feel like disconnected. Are you sick? You want to get a treatment? And you wish, but you have no language, like you don't know how to speak. So a lot of things actually in daily life, where you're sitting in the restaurant and you don't know you don't know how to order chicken. So a lot of people end up like making a chicken, playing it. I went to the kitchen directly with the boss, and I told him like I want this and this and this. So that was a solution. I also brought a small book with me. But after a while I was realizing I had to study Chinese language. That's why I say I very much can recommend for everyone to study at least the basics of like Shu Cai. What is Shu Cai? Everybody understands that? Jiro. Yeah? Anyone here doesn't understand, then can apply for the course. No. We have another student here, Paul. He was coming from Indonesia. But for me, I chose this picture because it's a little bit symbolizing this, what I try to put into words right now. Like we have something which we share, but we are coming from different places and we want to connect with each other. So it's actually communication. So what do we need? I think we need this. Another thing. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of people will already say, oh, I've been here for years, Tim, you don't have to talk about this. It's the student's life. So, like, I see some faces which are new here, some are already here since years. Yeah. So, do you have any impressions if you see those pictures? This was a guy from Israel with a very nice doctor. The name is Vukan. He's not teaching anymore, which is very sad. And we were often with this doctor because he was very traditional, working, and he also could speak brilliant English. He was explaining it in a very nice way. So a lot of students went there. This picture was also taken in the Hutchunitang pharmacy. So these places are different from the hospital. They have less people. They feel very traditional, like they have a lot of wooden carved doors. Take an afternoon and go over there and just look around. It will, yeah, I'm sure you all like it. This is again the teacher who was doing the wushu. Actually, he's a white crane teacher. So we took a German group. This is my Kung Fu teacher from Hamburg, Germany, and he came with students to China to practice a little bit of kind of Kung Fu. So I was just there to translate, and it was quite hard at that time. My Chinese wasn't that good. What is important in our students' life? I realized from the beginning, from the first step I took to Hangzhou, because I was looking for an apartment. And I didn't knew how to find an apartment. I actually didn't knew how an agency might look like. So what did I do? I was walking down the streets and I was often entering in a hotel. And I was asking those people if they have a room, and they were like laughing at me, like, what? You want to live here for 3 months? So then I realized, like, okay, this was not a flat agency. So I needed friends. And this is, I guess, what we all need. You need Chinese friends, and they need you. And they're happy if you are open, if you are willing to share. I never met one Chinese who was telling me he doesn't want to become in a friendship. So something very important, I think, not to stay lost, not to get down in the cultural shock. Try to open yourself, try to talk to people, because it's also interesting how they are taught, how Chinese people are taught in the university. Actually like this was taken in Kunming, and we were sitting on wooden benches, and I had a problem because my knees couldn't go under the bench. So I had to have one on my own, and it was always shaking because I had my knees under it, so it was interesting, yeah. So this was the first year of the bachelor degree of having, I never had this in my life. I never had a table like this, but it was interesting and I didn't want to miss it. So here we only had Chinese students. So what is an advantage in this university? That we have foreign classes. Even though the people who chose Chinese, they are together with foreigners. So you can ask questions. You can get into a discussion. And I think that sometimes what we have to start, you have to start actively to begin a discussion, or just to ask the teacher, because this is also a different way of teaching. Usually Chinese teachers, they like to present a lot of material, but sometimes it's also necessary to say, yes, but how could we actually apply it in a clinic? Could we get an example? So this is maybe our task, to say, could we choose an example? Like right now we are talking about the Mai Xiang, about the pulse. So could we maybe also practice it with each other? Because we need to study it, we need to feel it actually. It's not enough if you only say the pulse is wiry or the pulse is slippery. You need this information, and this information is not only with our brain to understand the word hua or xuan. It's not only to know the information, what does it mean, slippery, it's also to feel it. This is the most important information. It's the touch. That's why they call it qie. And the touch is going if we do it. So, yeah, I think be open. Like, tell the teachers, And I'm sure there are, maybe not every teacher agrees on this kind of inter-exchange or different kind of teaching, but I had a lot of teachers who were very open and who were actually asking me, students, tell us a way, how would you like to be taught? So I think use the opportunity, because you will need it later. You're gonna be examine the patients. So how actually, what is the best way to study TCM? Is there a best way? I also can't say. I only can tell you about my way right now, and I'm sure every one of you has its own way already, because we also have different way of learning, like visual learning. Is it more audio, more like I'm listening to a Chinese character and I can recognize it if I hear it again, or do I look to a character? That's how I learn actually. If I see a Chinese character and I look at it, I can just make a picture and I will find it in the outside. I will find it again. So we have many different ways of learning, and right now you see books, which is a main medium, which is very necessary. We can't go without books. For Chinese medicine, actually, it's the classical books. It's the Gudai, Guben, which is very important. But we need more to study. You need discussions. You need videos. You need first open up here. Be ready for a medicine who is completely different to the Western medicine. So, if you need time to study on your own, you could go to the library. In Chinese it's called Tu Shuguan. They also have it here. I don't know the number of the library here, but it should be open every day. So I think you need to you have to get a card. Well, I never done this, but, or you just go in the inside like this. How do you do it actually? Anyone goes to the library to study?
Just go inside.
You just go inside. Simple. Good. So you just go on the inside, and maybe sometimes it's a lot of students over there, so you have to be lucky to get a seat. This was taken, like, this is a Korean guy. He was studying in Kunming. So he was always talking to Chinese because he was really interested in Chinese medicine and always tries to open a discussion. Really nice guy. A guy from Israel, he's now having his own clinic in Israel. He was studying here a long time, Toina and also herbal medicine. His name is Ran. He was also often going to the pharmacies to study over there. Yeah, well, now topic is a little bit changing. You have actually a lot of opportunities in China, and you can become a film star. You never thought about it, but you all can if you are interested, if you have the right contacts. But it's not only about Guangxi, do you have something special? Why did you came here? With your hopes and expectations and needs, with your fear. Do you have abilities? Like, think about it, I'm sure everyone has them. It doesn't have to be super special, but everyone has an ability. Like, what my interest is Xiongguo Sui Dashi. This is actually kind of hard Qigong. So they can put a sword over here, or they can put an iron stick over here, and you just bend it with a lot of pressure, so it will look like this later, and it works. So this is called the Xiongguo, so you hear it. So it's a bone. It's not put above it because we will immediately die. So you have to have a skill about it. Sorry, just to get some water. So I was invited on the TV to play a guy to just a second. To pretend that I can practice this kind of hard Qigong. And what is right, I was studying Yong Shen Quan in Chinese, like in English you can say like Ding Cheng Kung Fu. I was studying this for quite a long time in Germany, for more than 5 years. So all of these things were right. Like I was talking there in Chinese, I was talking out a lot about Chinese medicine, so people were believing Okay, I also could do the heart qigong, and that was the game actually about. They have to guess. All of those things are right or wrong, what I'm saying. So at the end, I was telling a lie, but everybody trusted, so it was fun. Because this was wrong, like I never did heart qigong, I never bent some kind of iron here. I think I'm gonna stay alive. It's called FaceTime Yoga. I don't know if you have seen it. So what I was doing after, I was creating a medical network, which I'm gonna later show you a little bit more. So there were people like coming towards me because I had some newspaper article also before from the Zhejiang Chinese. So there were people curious, and they were just asking like, could you help us to write an article about really basic Chinese medicine? And I was thinking like, yeah, that should be fine. So right now it's a little bit hard to read because it's too small. Like if you're interested and you want to read the article, I'm going to give you my contacts later and you can read it on the website. So for me it was also interesting to see like how much do I really understand it. There was a person who was asking me like, I have eye problems. What kind of tea can I drink? Would you have an answer to this? Simple. Tell me. Eyes are uncomfortable, itchy, a little bit red. What kind of tea? Tell me the most simple. Go. Juminze. Okay. Okay, one more. 3, 2, 1. Juhua. Okay, Juhua. Do you know Juhua? It's chrysanthemum flower. It's white. It tastes a little bit of bitter, and it can clear heat from the eyes, from wind, heat, cold. So, of course, it can become an article if you're lucky and you know some people, but sometimes maybe you just talk with friends about it and they ask you, you know, I have some problems, can you help me? So use those opportunities to apply, because everything is about 使用. Do you know 使用? Is the application of your knowledge. Don't go with all the years here and wait after you've been graduating and then you will apply your knowledge because it's too late. You have to do it now. Think and apply in easy situation. And this is the way how you can step like very deep into the theory in the inside, because you always try to have it with a connection in your daily life. Friends can be a good help for this. So I just put some more articles here just to show you different kind of realities of foreign people. So I'm just an example today, and I'm sure there are also other people who have their examples. For example, like Sebastian was invited on a TCM conference, so they went to the north of China, and that's great opportunity actually to see a lot of Zhuangjia, a lot of professionals from other Chinese cities to talk about it. It's just an impression. This is what I'm also sometimes doing. I'm teaching some foreigners. This is Wing Chun Kung Fu. Yeah, and once you're here in China, use the time to look around. There are a lot of interesting places we can study about medicine. It's not only the university and not only the hospitals, which is a very important part. I agree totally. But there is also something like Ningjian, a lot of Nongsun, a lot of countrysides, where you can find like very authentic medicine. Like this man is already over 80. He came already back from the mountains, so they're drying actually their own herbs. We went to Guizhou province to meet 2 doctors. This is the first doctor, and the other doctor is not on the picture here. So they brought us to the mountains so we could collect herbs. And we found our own shan yao, our own goqizi and huangqi, and a lot of herbs. So later we were, with some friends, we were just using books and trying to recognize. It was really fun. It was holiday, it was travel, but it was connected with our major. There must be a lot of doctors who are in the countryside. So just be open. If you travel, go around, take a look. I'm also actually really interested. If you meet some interesting doctors, it would be great if you also share it with me. I'm always collecting interesting doctors. Yeah, or are you interested in Kung Fu? This was in Shaolin actually. They also had girls over there. And they were starting at 5 o'clock. So this was like a football field. And this school was just having like 10,000 students, which is one of the smaller ones. They have bigger ones also. So all of these people are practicing here, and here is a guy standing with a megaphone and just giving them 1, 2, 3 and now go. So that was really great experience. This is the Shaolin Temple here. This was my very beginning of my China studies. I came through the martial arts. That was my that was my favorite, that was my hobby, and I also brought a lot of expectations and hopes. I sought to find a lot of masters, good teachers. This is a group of children. We brought them to Fujian and they were studying some white crane Kung Fu. These are the parents. They came from Switzerland and they also have been studying here in this university. Some might remember them, I don't know. So this doctor here, he's teaching Kung Fu, and he's also a doctor for orthopedics. So this is a very traditional way actually. If you teach Kung Fu, but you also can heal the injuries of your students. This is actually a very, very traditional way of studying Chinese medicine, because it was always connected also with martial arts, with Yang Shen, with Tai Chi, with those things. As you know, like Chinese medicine is a lot also about how do you live, how do you eat, how do you think, how do you behave in your daily life. It will give you a strong information about your health. What I also want to introduce today is our network. It's called Vukan TCM, and I founded this in 2008. And it's about to connect students, to connect teachers and doctors from China and from abroad, from different countries. So we have a TCM community in the inside where we have the opportunity. Right now I have a forum in the inside. So I want to go on with this, and I want to publish articles, and it would be great to hear your comments about it. It would be great to create a platform with all of you to have a place to get into a discussion, to get into mind exchange. So this is not only about me, this is about you. If you are interested, you're very welcome to join. Because a network cannot exist from just one person. And it makes it even more interesting if there are people from different countries. These are things what we are also organizing. We are organizing courses. I bring foreigners to the clinic. I translate for them if they would like to have a treatment with Chinese medicine. So just yesterday I had a person from New Zealand, and this person is here in Hangzhou. I'm not talking about the name or about the illness. I just say like there is a foreigner, and this person wanted to have a treatment, so I organized the treatment, and the people feel great because you can share your knowledge. You've been through a lot of studies and you can use it. It's an opportunity. So if you're interested to work together, to work something out, just get in contact with me. I'm open. Training tours, like, do you want to study Tai Chi, or do you know Tai Chi teachers? Do you know Kung Fu teachers? Would you like to share those contacts? Please share with me also. An invitation. If you feel you would like to join those guys, they're actually in Kunming, and they just went to the Bai Cao Yuan, which is a herbal garden, if you translate it to English. So this was great, because we had our really nice Chinese teacher with us. She was teaching the Zhongyao Xue over there. And in Kunming we had a huge Bai Cao Yuan. So we spent the whole day over there just looking around, and it was full of herbs actually you never heard about, because they have a lot of Cao Yao, which is not the Zhong Yao. So it's a little bit, maybe even bigger, I don't know, but there are thousands of Cao Yao, of like local herbs actually growing in Yunnan, which are also very different to Zhejiang and other provinces. And there were some people who were also asking me if I could talk a little bit about this topic. And this topic is about the TCM license in China. So I still remember it was 1.5 years ago, even a little bit longer. I was hearing, together with Yan Li, I think you were in Xi'an, I think it was the time we were still in the same class. I was hearing like, oh, there is a TCM license test, and then I started to do research, like how can we take part in it, and what do we have to do, what are the guidelines for it. So I was just making like a very short introduction here. If there is anyone who is like strongly and really seriously interested in joining this test, which can only be done in Chinese, it's not in English, so actually I have to use Chinese now, so it's not for the people who only can do it in English. Right now it's only offered in Chinese because it's mainly done for Chinese students. These were all my books I've been through in the 1.5 years. So there is no secret about it, it's a lot of work. Every day I was using 1.5 years to prepare books. Joining Teixun Ban, different kind of trainings which were offered here from the Moni Yuan, which is actually just on the opposite from where, no, not really, the Arshi Yihao, building number 20. Yeah, right, yeah, just to the right here, not there. So they offer courses and lectures where you can prepare your practical skills. So I was taking part in those lectures. It was mostly in the evening, and it's good to have a review and to have this as a part to prepare your test, which was at the Zhejiang Xiaoqu, like this was the written one. So actually, what steps do we have to take if you really are interested in the inside? You need to have the bachelor plus at least 1 year of clinic. If you are already in the master degree, you can do it after 1.5 years. You can apply for. So where do you apply? You apply online in March every year if you have the necessary educational background. So this is a website, it's only in Chinese. There is an English link, you can read a little bit about it, but the content is just very summarized, so you have to know Chinese. It took me half a year to find this website. Now I'm sharing it because I think like this is very important to know. This is actually the website, you will see it on top. It's called 国家医学考试网, and you will find dozens. If you type in the inside, you go with Baidu, and you type in the inside 医师资格考试, which is the name of the test, like the National Medical License Test. You will find thousands of websites which try to sell you courses, and they're all saying like, yeah, we can have the best ones. So this is the main website of the Chinese National Medical Institute, which is organizing those tests, which are coming from Beijing actually. So there are much more other websites, but this is the main one. You have to register if you're interested. Get ready all your documents. Right now I didn't wrote down what kind of documents you need, but it's a lot. If you finished and you have, then you need to, and you have to have everything, let's say, 是你是要确认所有的这个资料是对的，你需要盖章 yeah, and so on and so on. Don't forget to have a serious preparation time. I don't know how much you would need. I can't say. I also didn't know, but because I didn't have anyone who could tell me, hey Tim, the first step would be like this, the second step would be like this. I didn't have this, so I found everything out on my own, and it was struggling. I was checking regulations of the test. Because, why? Because it's necessary, because we are foreigners in China, and it's also in connection with the law. If you would like to get licensed in China to be able to practice, you are very much connected with the Chinese law. So the Chinese law half a year ago was not allowing foreign people to practice TCM as a doctor. I think this kind of law changed already, because like we have our contacts in Shanghai, there are other people who are also working, a lot of Korean people, a lot of Japanese people who are living in Shanghai, they have their own clinic or they're working there. So a long time it was the problem of to get an extension for your license if you can manage to pass this test. So you have to have a lot of research. These are the first steps. Get help from doctors and students, you will need it. Ask them, because they know about it. They have the updates. What else do you need? Would you like to know like what actually is the test about? There is a practical test and there is a written test. Oh, I just jumped back to one thing I was saying before. 1.5 years ago I knew there were 2 tests. So this was the first one I'm talking about. There is another test which is called from the WHO, from the World Health Organization. And you can get some kind of Shui-Ping-Kaushe, so it's a level test. You can get a level test and you can check your level of TCM, but it's not going to be a license in China. It can be a license in countries like South America. There are countries who don't have their own TCM regulation, or they're quite open, so they recognize the WHO certificate, what you will get actually once you pass the test. So you could use that license to work also. In China you can't. In China that's the only way. There is, I think, also France, but I'm not sure. Like I know it from Brazil, I know it from France, and there are other countries. So if you're interested, you find it also online. You go to Google and you type inside WHO Training Center or International Training Center, and you will find a website which is in 14 different languages. It looks light blue, so you have opportunity to sign up for training, which actually our university also had an invitation 2 or 3 years ago. They came to Hangzhou and they said they wanted to open the opportunity to have foreign students also to take part in this test in Hangzhou. I don't know if this is already realized, if you can do it here in Hangzhou. I only know you can go to Beijing. So this is a level test. Don't mix it up with a license in China. Only this works as a medical license. And I was making research about it, so you don't have to do that. It's simple right now. So the license test has a practical test, which is in July, a written test in September. Once you pass the July test, you have to get ready your Zhen. This Zhen you also need for the practical test, otherwise you won't be allowed to take part. If you pass it, you need another Zhen for the written test, otherwise you also won't be allowed. So all of these documents you have to talk with our foreign department and they will help you. And Sandy is a great helper. He was always there sending me emails, sending me updates, and thanks a lot, Sandy, for this. Really, you helped me a lot. This is no secret. It's not easy. I'm actually still waiting for my results. I could pass the practical test and I'm still waiting for the written one where the results will come in January or February next year. So I'm actually still waiting if I can pass it or not. And this is no secret, this is for sure you have to do. It's not done easily. That's why be confident and trust yourself. It can work. If you have an idea, if you're clear with it and you want to go for something, I'm sure you can. So there are other things like work out the schedule and pretty many more other steps. So if you are interested, feel welcome also to contact me and I can give you more information. Yeah, this is already coming to our end. I hope it wasn't boring. I hope you could get some small little informations to bring it home, to think about what actually brought you here, your expectations, your wishes, and do you already found them? Or are you on the way with it? Are you having difficulties? So they will come for sure, but be respectful, be open, show your interest, and I'm sure you will have a lot of people who will also come towards you. So this is just a thank for you to come, to listen to me, a thank for the university to invite me, even though I'm actually sitting with them all together. Right now I'm here, but normally I'm also one of you guys. So, I wish you a successful study, whatever program you are in, bachelor, master, or doctor. Good luck, and have a nice day. And I want to give you some info so I could get more people who are interested in the thing I'm doing and you could join. This is a flyer about our website, what we are doing, about the offer, what we have. I just printed it out all yesterday, and it was also very interesting. I met an American woman who was actually Hangzhou, and she was born in Hangzhou, but she's living now in the United States, in Washington, D.C. So I always meet a lot of people who are interested in, and we're also giving you hopefully. So I'm always excited, like how many people I meet who are interested in. So if you're curious about, if it's not really clear actually, what shall I do with this one now? Like there is a website, you're welcome to take a look. And we have it in English, we have it in, we have it also in Chinese. Okay. Like English, AR. Yeah. So I'm actually done. You don't want? Sure, you also can give it back if you don't want. You already have it before. Okay, good. Okay. So last part is questions. Are you having questions? Would you like to ask something, or are you happy to go home? Then you also can. Any questions?
Anything you want to say, you can.
Anything? You know, this was organized for us actually. This shouldn't be a serious thing. This should be actually a discussion. This was more like a lecture right now. Questions? Anything you would like to know? Yeah, 中文、德文、英文、其他的都行。
I want to ask if anyone calls you Laowai, what do you think?
Yeah.
In a psychological aspect.
Okay. I tell you the truth. I was coming here 2004 and I had a handbook with me where was written in the inside Laowai, and they had some explanations. So I had a little bit the background of Laowai, and I came here and I heard it and I felt a little bit not really comfortable in the beginning. And then I started to think about, like, okay, how to face a person if he says Laowai to me. So I was having a lot of different stages. I was having, in the beginning it was like, okay, China is like this, okay, so we are the Laowai. Second one was like, well, that doesn't really sound so nice, because sometimes the intention of the people gives me a feeling that, like, am I not welcome? I'm a little bit worried about it, like, is there something wrong I did? Third step, I felt, it also depends on my mood, you know, like if I'm very tired, I don't like other people call me Laowai. Because for me, Laowai is like what is a Laowai? Like, we are all Laowai, but we are Koreans, and we are Germans, but Korea and Germany is like, so then I started to check actually in the dictionary, like what is Lao and what is Wai, and what is Laowai, and what is a little bit about the history, so where does it come from? So for me, Lao is something like sushi, you know, like good known, well known. Wai is coming, like it's something which is coming from the outside. So it's actually a person who is a well-known one which is coming from the outside, and perfect, it feels great. Next day I go on the street and it's like Lao Wai, and I feel like whoa. So did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
It's a lot of feelings. I respect it. I have my personal feelings about it. It depends on my mood. It depends on how I feel, how... It's a very Chinese thing. So I'm right now here, so I cannot choose how the people should behave with me. I can only adjust it. I can only respect it. And that, of course, depends on the things I was just explaining. How do you feel? If I call you Lao Wai, how do you feel? How is it? Is it okay? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Lao Wai. It's okay?
I don't know. Actually, I didn't have heard about Vukan.
Okay.
Because
yeah,
I'm Asian.
yes.
So
Yeah.
not many people call me Lao Wai.
Okay.
So if I heard Lao Wai, I think it's not comfortable with it.
You don't feel comfortable? Yeah, okay.
Because I don't know, but the meaning of the Lao Wai, I think it's not a bad meaning.
Yeah.
But the people
Yeah.
call us as a Lao Wai,
Mm.
not like they are not really good at all.
Mm. Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
look like animal or sometimes or like aliens and like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes feel okay, but sometimes not.
Yeah, that's what I also try to describe you, you know, it feels different. I can respect a lot of things because that's also necessary. If you go to a different country, you have to accept a lot of things if you want or not. That's not the question. It's just like the question, how do you do it? You do it in a good mood, or you feel like you don't feel good about it. So if you have something and you don't feel good about it and you do it for a long time, it's not really good. It doesn't feel healthy. It doesn't feel happy anymore. So you have to work on it. You have to find actually a way which is alright for you to feel with it. This is what is about me. I cannot have something I'm hearing every day and I have a feeling like it's not comfortable. And I'm not feeling comfortable the whole day, but I don't want. I want to feel good. So for me it's like a lot of things which are going through my head. All of these Tihui, you know, what I had here in China, all of these Jingyan, good ones, but also really, really heavy ones, you know. I had really heavy times here, becoming ill, becoming sick, not getting what I wanted, trying to, in my way, not succeeding and being frustrated. So this is actually just a pleasure. This is just flowers here. So the reality is, of course, there's a lot of problems, and I know that. It's just a thing how you face the problem. Are you struggling with it? Are you fighting with it? Do you want to destroy something? Then why? You chose to come here. Why do you want to destroy something? So then you probably didn't understand. You are in a different culture right now. So it's a lot of, you know this? Like, I do like this because it's a lot of 互相理解、互相尊重、互相让一步。This is for me. So it's also like if I go back to Germany and sometimes I was calling the Chinese over there Lao Wai and just like listening how they were laughing. So they were laughing because they were remembering because you know they were in China, they were in Germany. But they came from China, so I just wanted to see their reaction. So they were laughing. And laughing is nothing negative. So it's like, good, okay, maybe we just laugh about it. But we feel different, because actually, if I talk about my country, if I'm calling in Germany a person Lao Wai or a foreigner or an Ausländer, which we say in German, Ausländer, so I have to be careful because I don't know. You know, there are a lot of people from Russia and from Turkey, but they are not Ausländer, they are not foreigner, they are not Lao Wai, they are German, but they look like a foreigner, but they're not. So I call them an Ausländer, I get a problem. I have a problem, really, because they feel offended. They don't like it. So we are grown up in an environment and grown up in a society where respect is one of the main things, and about protecting, about keeping my own space. Like, this is my space, and please respect it, because I will do the same for you. This is Western society, and we bring it here. So, yeah, can talk hours about it. Some more questions? Yeah.
Do you have any information about the opening a clinic in here as a foreigner?
Sorry, about what?
Opening a clinic?
Here in China?
Yeah.
Now?
As a foreigner.
Yeah, as a
Because
foreigner.
I've heard,
Yeah.
like, maybe like 2 years or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
the Chinese government decided not to give you a permission to open a
Exactly.
clinic. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many doctors already have a license getting back to China
Yeah.
years ago.
Mm. Mm.
Do you have any information about the
Yeah.
news?
Some, not many. Yeah. What I know is always I choose this example of a German woman. She's in Shanghai, and she's having her TCM clinic over there. It's called Body and Soul. You find it in Google. And she was doing the same what we did. She was doing the bachelor degree, and she was creating a company, or and she's working together with Chinese. So I think that's still the way what we can look forward for. Like, I think very much for sure you need to work with Chinese together. You can't do it without, and you have to have a Chinese doctor with you. This is what I think here. And you have to have a lot of guanxi and a lot of qian. So it's not an easy thing. But I have the feeling now, because there is another foreigner who is also in our university, and he's working in Shanghai, so he is actually able to apply for a new license in China. So it seems like the law is getting open again, and this is for sure also a part of finding the middle way. So it's like an amplitude, it goes to the left and to the right. So I think there is a way, but so you see, I don't know anything clear, but I know if you want to do it on your own, I think it will be really hard.
Yeah, that's what I heard. The government, they're not renewing your license. That means you cannot work at the hospital anymore.
Well, what I know from this license, so if I can manage, if I can get this license, then I have like 2 years. And in those 2 years I have to find a hospital who agrees to employ me as a yuangong. So that's the first step, like which hospital in China will agree to have a foreigner if the regulation and the law is really not clear. They will also take a risk. So I didn't get to this step yet. I don't have it, but I will work on it, and I want to receive my personal goals. So I will do everything to get it, you know. And I hope there are more. Yeah, do it. I have a lot of documents about this test, and I'm really open to share all of these things, because I know it was really struggling. So just mail me, just if you need any info, because it's an opportunity. There are more and more Laowai in China now, and they also need help. They also need medical help. So do they always go to a Chinese hospital? Yeah, some know. Some will go who know the Chinese language. And what do the people do who doesn't know? They're going on the internet and asking for foreign doctors, and you see it in the forum. So are there some? Yeah, there are some. In Hangzhou we have 1, 2, 3 international clinics maybe. Some smaller ones, some bigger ones. So they have doctors who are working over there. The Sir Run, which is in the north. Then we have the Beimei, like an international American hospital, which is on the Wuhan Square. They have, I think, an American and a German doctor over there. Then there is one at Yanggongli. It's called Parkway Health. Ciao.
Ciao.
So there are, if you go to Shanghai, even more. I found some websites also like opened by people from clinics open from, one more time. Like I found websites from foreigners who came from Korea and from Taiwan. Like they have their websites online and they have a clinic in Shanghai. So there should be a way, but how to find it, that's a project. How to do it, yeah. I also really hope we can cooperate on this, and if you have any news, we can get into exchange, because I'm sure.
That's what Sandy always do that.
Yeah, Sandy. Okay.
Share the information of the test.
Right. We were just talking about the license. So how actually to become licensed in China if you're a foreigner? And we know there are ways, but we don't have anything clear actually. Maybe also something of our dream. Not only a dream, like people coming here and they study 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, even longer, and they wish to work, to have working experience, and then you are facing this situation, so how do you do it? So I was explaining one part of it today, the license, but how to do it after it, I also don't know. Yeah. Maybe Sandy knows more, or
No more information.
yeah. That's, I don't call it a problem, but that's the situation. What is it like? It's not easy to find clear information, but it is somewhere. So
Yeah, maybe so.
it is somewhere. It's
Because I think this is a changing society, and this is what the government will do. Once they find there's a complaint or problems here, so they will start working on it.
yeah.
So this is just like a problem solving the regulations here.
Yeah.
So laws would be better, like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there first has to be, how to say, there first has to be some people who are asking for it. If there is no need, maybe it's in this direction. You know what I mean? Like if you want to practice here as a TCM doctor, and you are one of many other people who have the same goal, and you can make something run. You can maybe keep this process going on. Like I think if you go to Shanghai or Beijing, like I met a guy from Spain. He was a medical doctor over there, but he was not getting licensed in China. So what is another thing is, like they are asking right now for a Chinese license and also for a foreign license. So some people get the American, it's called NCCAOM, that's for the Oriental Medicine. Some people have maybe a different license. This is for sure not the easiest way. This is so it's a try. There is nothing for sure, there is nothing clear, so I was trying. Yeah. Any more questions? Or not, or answers? Confusing now. How did you find the lecture? How do you feel to be with Western people, with foreign people, not only Western people, sorry, with foreign people? How is it? Is it like something what you already heard 1,000 times, or is it something new, or?
Yeah.
You know English or?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
English. They are different, and that's good. I think that's like the rainbow, have different color people because of the different things. So it is very colorful.
Okay.
So we should accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my feeling, and I'm glad that you are interested in the traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah, I think that's well
Very
why we
glad
are all
that
here.
our country you like it.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
Okay.
And I'm glad that it seems like the whole world is interested about the Chinese and the
Yeah.
medicine.
Yeah. Right.
Now I see many countries people here.
Mm.
I never in a place and be together with so many different people.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, and you should continue it. The license, I think, is not the most important things. Like the Asian China, the masters, the very famous the doctors, they didn't have a license, but they have the ability. You know it?
Yeah. Right.
Because this is only a paper for others to. And now the society, there are so many these licenses, but not everybody that has the license is very good. So you know what I mean.
I understand you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I'm in the traditional Chinese this university, but I didn't learn the Chinese medicine. I learned English. But I also could go to learn the medicine, and I learned the English, but I didn't have the chance to to be a doctor. I will never have the chance to get a license because they need a doctor degree. But I also could learn many things for me, for the people around you, to go to help them.
Okay. So you can use it for yourself. Go on with your studies. Yeah, sure. It's just, yeah, so you see different ways. You can use it for yourself, for your family. You can maybe start with your family. And if you want to face the official way of stepping inside into a hospital, or let's say like the health system, and you want to think about to be a doctor, then you have to consider a license. Yeah, that's because you want to be part of the system. Then you have to, yeah. That's what is the license regulation. Okay. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And have a good study.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wait. There you go.
Okay.
Finish.
I'm done. I'm finished.
Yeah. So what I want to say is, team prepare this lecture very 非常好. Because I let him know this lecture maybe for 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and he changed his content for many times and share with me for many times, and to make it perfect today. So let's thank you, Tim. Thank you. And wait for a while, because our Professor Chen, our Dean, has a little gift for you.
Okay.
So wait for a minute.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Because he is busy.
It's good enough. Okay. All right. then I tell you something more about the medical network what I'm doing here in Hangzhou. So we have a community on the inside, and that means like we have different people who came to Hangzhou, who came to study. They are members. We have doctors. We have some martial arts trainer. We have people who are still here. And if you are interested and you would like to join it, then you will see it's still in the beginning, because there is a lot of work which has to be done. Because I'm doing this website not only in English, I do it also in German and in Chinese. So I have to have every content in 3 languages. So yeah, just if you have any kind of advice, any kind of help, I'm all the time very open to listen to your thoughts. Thanks.
Arnie.
Good.
Hello?
No.
Yeah? Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, good speaker. We're very glad and invite him to come here to have a speech and to talk about his experience. It's a study in our university. Now he's in the master degree in the first year. So he's really did a good job and studied very good. And also he tried to open his own business and basic in the TCM. So this work for himself, also work for his country, and also work for our traditional Chinese medicine. So we are very glad, and we would like to help him to build up the new web and to speak more about the traditional Chinese medicine. So from his speech, I think you also know more about our university and know how to study traditional Chinese medicine. And mostly, I think, how to use in the clinic. And he also very good to study, and he passed the examination of the Chinese medical doctor. Yeah?
Well, I'm still waiting for the final
I know exactly. Yeah. So you see, if you work hard, study hard, I think you can get your aim. And hopefully, hope you to learn from his spirit and some experience, and to help you study here. Okay. Thanks again, and we give you a little gifts. Can you open it?
Okay. Oh, okay. From your university.
Yeah, and we have some logo. And
Okay. In Chinese. I have to open it like. Maybe not. I have to be careful a little bit. That's not the Wushu fan. Okay, so we have some yuan on it.
Yeah.
中华百家姓.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know.
That takes some time to translate.
Here also, we have the 2 flowers.
香蓉鱼.
香花 flower.
香花.
Flower and bird.
鱼鸟.
Okay.
Okay.
Bird speech.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah?
Thank you,
Thank you.
Okay, everybody.